I got triggered because I care about black people. All right, checking out Tom MacDonald. People so stupid. Let's get into it.
I'm praying that the world changes soon. Can get a doobie on a plane, but there's Uzis in our schools. Every dude who touched a boob or a booty getting me too. What you expect from the kids who went to Hooters after school? We're all...
Okay, hold up. Every dude who touches a boobie or a booty gets me too. He says, what do you expect when you grew up going to Hooters? Like, all that is glorified, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's not saying you had to touch it inappropriately.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This really came on strong. I have no clue what he said.
And then in the beginning, see, some songs I'm like that, but this one I heard everything. I remembered all too. Like, in the beginning he said, you can't take a doobie on a plane, but you can take a Uzi into a school.
Ooh.
Basically, it's easier to get a gun into a school than a joint on a plane. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
What is up with that?
What happened to protecting?
Right, like schools are gun-free zones, but there's no measures to really make sure no one brings a gun there. You know what I mean?
I always thought that was so weird.
But try and bring a joint on a plane and see how that ends up for you. Actually, we know someone who did, and they went to jail.
Yeah.
Not prison, but they did go to jail.
I'm praying that the world changes soon. Can get a doobie on a plane, but there's Uzis in our schools. Every dude who touched a boob or a booty getting me too. What you expect from the kids who went to Hooters after school? We're all triggered and defensive. We're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful. Name a thing that you can't do. Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to be cool to just flip a bird to the system and...
Wait, what? What? Yeah, I mean, he's going in. Did he say being thin ain't beautiful? Or something? I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said name something you can't do. It was like run a mile, jumping jacks, live past 42. It sounded like he was talking about being obese or something.
Oh. It sounded like,
I dig it. We had to run it back. Maybe. But that was funny. He said, how is everyone offended, but we grew up watching South Park or whatever. Yeah. Like, South Park is the most like crude, like...
That's
that
so
is
true.
Relatable.
They don't care about offending people.
Right.
And like we grew up also watching Family Guy. Family Guy goes in too.
Right, and
Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
No, the one on Adult Swim.
Right. All of those ones on Adult Swim. We grew up on.
Yeah, remember on Adult Swim they had like the... I don't know. I don't even remember. Was it that?
It was.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
Oh, okay.
We grew up on a lot of inappropriate cartoons and no one was moved by them. Our parents,
now everyone's so sensitive.
Right. It's like, what's happened to you?
The kids who went to Hooters after school. We're all triggered and defensive. We're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful. Name a thing that you can't do. Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to be cool to just...
Oh, well, being fat is beautiful. That's what he said. That's what I thought, it was something in that ballpark. All right, anybody got anything?
No, that's definitely... Yeah, I understand that bar a lot now. Even jumping jacks, run a mile... You know, it's pretty basic. Just 1 mile and jumping jacks, considering what we had to do in, physical education class in elementary and middle school. What the bar was, that's pretty relatable, definitely.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, I mean, there's nothing, I want to say, wrong with being fat. I get that there's health consequences, you know what I mean? But it's like, if someone wants to be skinny, great, be skinny. If someone wants to be fat, great, be fat. But like now, it seems like modern day, it's like you get shamed. Like you get shamed for being skinny.
Yeah.
You literally get skinny shamed by members of your own family.
Yeah.
I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Yeah. You know what I mean? It happens all the time. But if you were bigger, like if you added on 100 pounds, nobody have anything to say. That you begin praise. Right. So it's like I don't think you should be shaming someone for being fat or skinny. But I get some people will do it is they think they're unhealthy and they're trying to help. That is not my cup of tea. But you know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't shame someone for any of that crap. Like let people live. You want to be fat, be fat. You want to be skinny, be skinny.
Right. It's not your body. So.
But now it's upside down to where if you're skinny, you catch flack, and if you're fat, you get praise. And they're encouraging people to be the least healthy option.
It does seem glorified.
That's crazy, right?
I feel like that's equally bad as like how it was before. Like I'm sure like a while ago, fat people were getting criticized, and it's like who wants to be criticized all the time? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not everybody can lose weight or as easily. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like. I feel like both ways suck, and people don't like it. So why do people do it? Leave people alone.
I feel like most criticism for fat people isn't really out of love.
Yeah, it's really out of
people say, "Oh, you need
judgment.
to lose weight to be healthy." You don't care about that person's health.
Right. It's really out of judgment.
Or maybe they've just been judged so many times that it will always rub them as judgment. when somebody does reach out.
Because some people, it will be out of love. I feel like just most in general, like especially online and stuff, is like, it's not love. But family members will be concerned about your health, and family members will say something.
Family members will let you know, this runs in our family.
Right.
So that's why we make certain decisions.
But also, just like family members can skinny shame family members, I'm sure fat shame too.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just like people need to, like, I don't even know. People play too much.
They just need to mind their own business.
Maybe just stop shaming without glorifying bad decisions at the same time. Like, just maybe there's some in between, you know? But
right, like mind your own business.
Right.
That's the perfect in between.
Right. Seriously.
Hey, if your relative want to be fat and not live past 42, which I mean, that's exaggeration, but if that's their choice, hey, let them do their thing. It's like, I highly doubt they're completely ignorant to the health consequences of being overweight.
Definitely.
It's kind of hard to miss that modern day. They have a computer. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like,
definitely.
Probably should just mind their own business.
Name a thing that you can't do: jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to be cool to just flip a bird to the system, and now it's trendy to be triggered and pretend you're a victim. It's my race, it's my weight, it's because I'm a Christian. I hate the internet and anyone who has an opinion. And everybody angry if you say white. Okay, fine. Pass me the brush and I'll paint my face to the shades right. Let's talk about abortion. Sorry, tell me how this works. Bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth. Weird.
What?
I've never heard that comparison before. That's hilarious.
Neither have I.
Dang, I've never heard. I've heard a lot of
break
different.
it down. I don't get it.
Bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth.
So like, find bacteria on Mars. The headlines are, "Oh, we found life on Mars."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So we're all celebrating that bacteria means there's life on Mars. It's a huge deal. But in the womb, a heartbeat isn't life. It's not alive. That's what he's saying. It's like, to draw that, you know, that's a good, that's cold right there.
Even when there's more than a heartbeat.
Right.
So
and there's a ton of bacteria in a child.
He's definitely taking a jab at that distinction between life and what some people don't consider life.
I mean, picture how much bacteria is in the gut of a child.
It's
within the body. You know what I mean? Like, ridiculous.
Literally its own DNA.
Right.
Very
He's
unique
so
code.
good with like the one-liners that make you like think.
Yeah, that was cold.
This works. Bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth. Weird.
Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them, y'all so dumb. People so stupid, people so dumb, people so boo-hoo, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues, it's so dumb.
I'm a hater.
What do you say? Get better issues. We're gonna run out of tissues.
It's so dumb. Wow, I love how all his music too is like different. It's almost like different, totally different styles. Like
Right.
every single song.
Very versatile. This video's cool too. I was like the news.
Right.
Have you been reading the headlines on the news or something?
Right.
Like social justice warriors outraged. I'm sure a ton of people got mad. 29,000 dislikes on this video, which is not that many, really.
No, it's not.
I'm sure a ton of people got triggered with this one.
We're gonna run out of tissues, it's so dumb.
I'm a hater because I can't relate to gay pride. Call me homophobic because I don't want to date guys. K-type. I, for one, am not surprised the world declined along the way. Give trophies to children for losing just because they decide to play. We exercise our right to vote and hate the politicians. Ay, this is a democracy. It's partly your decision. Ay, this is weird. Feels like this a different year. If I identify as a female, then will my balls and penis disappear? Children want a gender switch and hating men is feminist. Depression and anxiety.
Oh my goodness.
He's speaking on it. Because I feel like that is so... I feel like nowadays, it's just like everybody wants to jump to extremes.
Right?
It's like... And it's just like... It sucks because it's like there are real issues. Like I was literally just talking to someone in the comments on another Tom video. And she had had a horrible experience of like violation, right? And she was saying that like she loves Tom's music because it's like we're way too focused on all these like Me Too, like lying, you know what I mean? Like we go to extremes for sort of embellished scenarios, and then the real stuff gets like swept under the rug or grouped into that.
Right, like a person who really has been violated like that, people are a lot less likely to believe that person because of all this celebrity bullcrap that's going on, all this Me Too bullcrap.
That is real. I feel like all of the false accusations of just throwing out very disparaging just words about someone actually does water down the true victims
Right.
that are out there.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime I hear about any kind of a sexual violation kind of thing, I'm honestly like hesitant to believe it at first. I lean more towards doubt than anything, just because modern day, I feel like most of the time it's BS, the stuff you hear about. So then it kind of sets my meter to just think every kind of sexual violation is BS.
And now you're more hesitant probably than ever before.
Oh yeah, I didn't used to be hesitant.
Yeah. Because you even have, like, nowadays celebrities, like the Johnny Depp situation where
Right.
it's like, oh, girl, like, literally there's proof that she spun the story and actually she did it to him, what she claimed he did to her. And it's like, she gets all the press.
Right.
And, like, we read
She's
about,
giving speeches on domestic violence and stuff.
You know what
She
I mean?
didn't get kicked out of her movies. He got kicked out of his, and he was the one getting light on.
And that's what we're being, like, fed.
So, I mean, guys see that, and this is like, why believe women?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if the woman's wrong, the guy still gets punished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Right.
Yeah. And I think it's messed up to, like, you know, title people like homophobic, is Islamophobic and all these things when it's like that's absolutely not true. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Right.
like there's literally so much love out there that, like, if you just throw everybody into a category, then it's like, and a lot of times it's like the powers that be throwing people into categories
And creating all these labels.
and creating all these labels. It's not even like the people. You know what I mean? Like, as black people, like, we're not even the ones, like, we're not even saying these things. It's like the media saying black people feel this way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I doubt it's actual black people that are really upset raising a stink about it.
Right.
I feel like it's...
right. It's
I've
like,
never
how
heard
much
anyone
is
complain
changing
about
Aunt
it.
Jemima's branding going to help my life
I feel like changing it will...
as a black person?
It's going to stop racism.
You know what I'm
Didn't
saying?
you know?
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
If we have less representation in pancakes, then racism is
Then
going to stop
obviously that just fixes everything.
everything.
Great idea.
Balls and penis disappear. Children want a gender switch and hating men is feminist. Depression and anxiety are trendy. We're too sensitive. Invented 80 genders. Mad the world is not accepting it. Then gave them more attention than normal women and men can get. What a contradiction. Being human is so tragic. Focus on
Man,
minorities,
hurts
ignoring
feelings.
all the masses. Hallelujah, everyone. Activism saved the planet. No more plastic straws and paper. Just paper straws wrapped in plastic. Congratulations.
I hate paper straws so much.
And they come in plastic.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
When the way he points all this stuff out makes it seem so stupid.
It does.
Perfect title for the song.
It takes it to another level.
Right? Especially hearing them all side by side. It's like, dang, okay, that's true. True. Dang, this is our country right now? You know what I mean? Like, all this stuff is true at the same time?
Why do they come in plastic?
Because it's more for the look than the actual, like I just feel like there's so much stuff that's done to literally market, manipulate, look. Like, I don't know.
I think
never
they come
thought
in,
about that.
I think they come in plastic because you can't risk like any moisture getting to it.
Oh.
Right,
You
you,
know
can't
what I mean?
risk it being,
'Cause
the seal being broken.
Sometimes you get a plastic straw and paper and it's a little wet sometimes. You just like slide it off. You know, that happens at restaurants. But if it's a
Right.
paper straw in paper and it gets wet, it's going to ruin the
Oh,
straw.
that's true.
So it has to be in plastic.
Oh, that's true.
You can't give someone a soggy
Yeah.
straw.
Right.
I think
I hate paper straws.
Yeah, I hate paper straws
If you don't
so
drink your drink in 30 seconds, the
Right.
straw like gets all limp and
Right.
stuff and stops
It's like,
working.
how are you supposed to finish your drink at that point? Open it. Oh.
Right.
Right.
The most brain freezes you ever had.
Right.
Right? Man, and okay, so the gender thing, I thought that was really interesting that he pointed out too, because I think it's messed up how
Oh,
they're
the
doing
80 different genders.
Yeah,
It
'cause
gets
it's
more
like,
attention than
look,
male and female.
I am all for doing what you want to do with your life. If you want to be trans, whatever, do you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I think you have to teach kids, like, a sort of, like, what we know to this point in evolution. Like, what we know is real and what is not real. And then they can take with it and do what they want.
Right.
But if you literally don't teach them the core of existence, like you teach them, oh, you're a girl, but you just got a thing down there. And you teach them that, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, what if they're not trans or none of that? They're just a boy with a thing. And it's like, how do they differentiate?
I mean, they're going to be very confused.
Kids just copy. Like, they literally don't know the difference. And you have to tell them and teach them, and they memorize it, you know?
Right.
So I think that's messed up.
It definitely is messed up. Like, children don't even have consent. You know,
Right.
they can say, like, today it's, and then say a different day of the week, and just say something completely random every day and completely contrary to the day before.
And it's like, it's a tough argument because I get it. Like, if somebody's born where they always feel a certain way and then they want to get like a gender surgery and they have hormones set in, like it makes it so much harder. So it's like, I feel
But-
for those people.
But I wanted a lot of stuff when I was a kid.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like that's between them and their parents. I mean, I got nothing to do with that. But it's like kids want a lot of things, and parents don't give them a lot of things that they want because I mean they're kids. Like their decision making is questionable at best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. They definitely don't always know their best interests. You know, they don't.
Not at
take
all.
back into account their.
Oh my goodness! Can you imagine if your life was literally today? What, like at 5 years old, you were telling your parents you wanted?
Right.
Like if everything you wanted, you just got it.
I'd probably be dead.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I would be a hot mess of a person.
I would have just ate sugar until I died.
Right.
Children will request candy for dinner every night if you let them.
Every night. I'd have no teeth.
They won't think of the long-term, you know,
right.
potential side effects of something. They don't care. They don't think about delayed gratification.
Right.
That's not what they think of.
And I think most reasonable people with decent parents will grow up, and if their parent didn't let them transform their gender when they were a child, they made them wait until they were like 18, I think they'll grow up and they'll say, you know what, I understand. Even though it sucks, you know, I understand why as a parent you wouldn't want me to make such a permanent decision. You know what I mean?
Right.
So...
Not many people really know their purpose in life as a child.
No.
That's not too many people.
Not many people know their purpose in life even as an adult. I feel like it's a constantly evolving thing, but at least as an adult, you kind of like you are responsible for your decisions.
Right.
So it's like you can't be like, dang, my parents did this to me and now I'm stuck with it. You know what I mean? It's like you're literally stuck with you.
Right. So, if you really want to get into this topic, do you think it should be child abuse if a parent like transitions their kid? Because like, how can the kid really know, and how can you know for sure that that kid knows they're a different gender? And then the parent blocks puberty and gets surgery. Like, is that child abuse?
So I don't think so. I think that the problem is knowing whether the parent is listening to the kid or feeding the kid this information.
How do you know?
That's the thing. I feel like it's child abuse happens at the parental level of like, are you intentionally doing something for yourself that's hurting your child, or are you doing it for the child? Even if it's the wrong decision and the child wants it and you're just an idiot parent, I think that's not child abuse. But if the parent's like, I want a daughter really bad, I have a son, you know what I mean? Because I feel like that happens.
Yeah, I think it happens.
I wouldn't put that past people. So like that is child abuse, but you can't really prove it. So.
No, that's true. I feel like it will lead to that, to maybe just those external pressures, something other than literally what the child believes. It could also be the parent maybe already really wanting a certain. There's already
gender, a social circle that's cool.
Right. There's already gender pre-selection, so maybe that could be like a afterthought of let me still
people
try
to
select something that I want. That would be more convenient.
Gender post-selection.
Right. But I feel like there's a very, I mean, I think there technically is a slim percentage, but I feel like maybe if there's enough biological reasons, like there's something that was deformed or different, then I feel like that's generally understood.
Yeah, I mean, that's different.
But I feel like just generally, other than if there's some weird scenario like that, this would make sense to wait until the child is at least of age, till their brain has grown more to where they really understand potential side effects of doing something, and they can really assess the risks versus reward. So I think it would just be respectful to wait until someone's brains develop more before making life-altering decisions.
More plastic straws and paper, just paper straws wrapped in plastic. Congratulations.
Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them. Y'all so dumb. People so stupid. People so dumb. People so boo-hoo, wah, wah, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues. It's so dumb.
Look, I get it, it's like the world is going crazy. Seems like a school shooting happens almost daily. The racism, rape culture, hatred that we're facing is way too ingrained for our hashtags to change it. We've become so lazy and complacent, afraid of our generation. We think activism's Instagramming memes and complaining. It's a problem when there's actually actions you could be taking, but you're triggered so you just cry like a baby.
I think that's real. I think that I love what he said. He said, run out of tissues. Like when he was saying that, because there's so many issues that might be the most viral, the most, just on the most tabloids, but typically none of them are the top problems that are affecting, life, whether it's ending them or the top ones affecting them. That's typical. So I understand that just run out of tissues of all those other, the other rant you're on, but there's real problems we need to address as well. And
even in every group, like every single sort of victim or whatever, minority, whatever group, it's like there's a group of people that need the most attention. You know what I mean? That need the most energy focused on solving those problems, and the whole group benefits.
So like the biggest killer in the black community, really all communities, but it's diet.
Yeah.
In the black community especially, that is the biggest killer. And we want to focus on a handful or two of people who get shot by the police. And just because they're unarmed doesn't mean they didn't do something to earn that shot, so to speak. It's like a horrible way of saying it, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not always
like, what if we were focused
hear.
on diet?
Yeah.
That would save way more lives.
Way more lives.
Because you can't save someone who's going to get rough with the police. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really save that person. No, there's no amount of activist memes and tweets you could do.
Right.
To save that.
Right.
And it probably, even doing that, might ironically lead to an outcome that's negative with the police when you already have these, assumptions that, they're out to just kill you and they're so horrible. Right. That could attract a scenario like that. So it could also just be an opposite effect of solving the problem. It feeds into it more, potentially, if you're making people worry about something like that.
Right.
Instead of not real, but issues affecting that people are more likely to die by or more likely to be affected by. So issues that should be prioritized a little higher.
Black on black violence. Those are the top two killers. Yeah. Black on black violence. And diet. Because like in our age group, our number one cause of death, like for people our age, would be violence, homicide. And then we know most homicide is black on black violence. You know what I mean? So that'd be the number one in our age group, but overall I would say diet. But diet for America in general, like number one cause of death.
Both of those are swept under the rug.
Yep.
But all these other issues are always tossed up in people.
Right.
You know what's more important than diet? Body positivity. It's like the complete opposite. Like, we're not going to focus on health and diet and exercise. We're going to focus on being the antithesis of it.
Right.
We're going to glorify that, yeah. And so Big Pharma would be real happy about that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's a lot of bandages. Just like the modern narrative stuff, like a lot of the stuff in the media is just like a lot of band-aids, It's not fixing the actual problems. And you could just tell we didn't come up with that. Like, not the people on the ground coming up with this, because...
It's like we're just fed it, and there's millions of people who just eat it.
Who eat it.
I think it's because it's just easier.
It is.
Yeah, you have to really, have your defenses up all the time to,
And then I feel like once you stop eating it, you can't go back to eating.
Right.
It becomes easier to not eat it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Once you read ingredient labels instead of just the titles.
Right.
Then it hits different. When you're like, what? I'm just used to just calling them Oreos, but it's really, and not necessarily trying to just rag on Oreos. Right. A lot of these snacks, we just get used to just saying the name brand, and we don't even know half the ingredients that are in there. It's kind of odd.
But it's like we can even sit here and talk about it so fluidly, but it's a lot tougher to actually do day to day. A lot tougher to live your life not eating those things that you were addicted to for so many years.
Yeah, but I mean, you pretty much just turn off the news and stop listening to mainstream music.
Helps, yeah.
It's it's really that easy, but I get what you're saying. It's hard.
Because I feel like also most people, you go to work. Did you hear about this shooting? And then it's not only do you have to entertain the conversation and they're gonna keep pushing it at you, you also have to not acknowledge the curiosity to go and look it up.
Right. I mean, I'll look stuff up, but I'm not watching the news. And I'm not listening to the radio.
There's this one quote, I forget the author, but it was not reading the newspaper makes you uninformed, but reading it makes you misinformed. So sometimes trying just to not be misinformed or manipulated, you can be the one not knowing about the shooting or the current event that just happened because you don't want to buy into something that you might have a different motive for being there. Or just that, there's other problems. What if people were that passionate about talking about the major problems? But I think he had a bar about that, talking about how people just are dismissive about it, and that's not what they want to talk about.
But if you want to be informed and not misinformed, not brainwashed, there are good like YouTube channels and like other sources you can get news from. It's like independent journalists and stuff.
Definitely, people that might not be getting billions of dollars from other people are just traceable.
They're just getting ad revenue and donations.
Right.
The actions you could be taking, but you're triggered, so you just cry like a baby.
Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them, y'all so dumb.
That's also interesting. People do get triggered from talking about the problems that are the most prevalent. That's also that's an interesting bar, and that's very relatable. It is. It's pretty common people get triggered from talking about the actual problems.
I feel like they wear it like a badge of honor. Like, to be triggered shows how much you really care about the issue. Because, like, they'll record themselves being triggered and post it on social media like they want everyone to know they just got triggered.
Right.
See, I got triggered because he's a bigot, racist, white supremacist. I got triggered because I care about black people. You know what I mean? I feel like it's like they want to be triggered.
I feel like it's not that deep. Like, I feel like it at some level, like, you're absolutely right. But at another level, it's like people are just so hungry for attention.
True.
And, like, modern day, this is the biggest way to get attention.
True.
Like, literally, I know this girl who knew Black Panther Chadwick, whatever, Boseman. And anyway, she, like, when he died, she got on her Instagram story and she recorded herself, like, bawling her eyes out. Chadwick is gone. Da, da, da. And it's like, they're, like, he doesn't even follow her.
Yeah, she
like,
showed me that.
They're not even, like, she did some work with him, but it wasn't like he even knew her. It's like she's alongside 100 people.
And I mean, she was in Black Panther, but she didn't have like a major role. But she was in it, so she probably spoke to him and stuff like that. But like, I doubt they had each other's phone numbers.
Yeah, and then it's like, what are the chances you happen to pull your phone out and start a recording right as you're about to tell someone who's not there that he died? Like, you know what I mean? You're having to be bawling your eyes out, facing the camera.
Like, you have to get the news.
Angle and good lighting.
Yeah. Right, like she had to hear about it, pull her phone out, or read on her phone, switch to the app, record herself crying, and then sit there and post it. And after she posted that, she posted all the pictures that they were in together from like Black Panther stuff.
Yeah.
So she was really just trying to get attention.
And she probably got the attention she wanted to get. People feed into... That's the thing, the attention people get from maybe habits or things that aren't necessarily considered healthy. I mean, I guess it's never a good time to tell someone a better coping method. That's only one-on-one if they ask you.
Right.
But, so with that situation... I understand.
It's like the Karen Instagram pages. Like, most of those scenarios are like, you just ran into a rude person. You know what I mean? It happens. And it's like, they pull their phone out, world star, you know what I mean? Like, just triggered and just like, and it's like, they're literally doing that for attention. They want theirs to go viral so people can be like, woe is you. And they can be like, yeah, woe is me. Like,
it's glorified. It is. When someone says world star, just you already know to expect something.
It's going to be viral. It's going to be entertaining.
So. We glorify toxic things. Definitely.
Right.
But we're so triggered by something that's not toxic. That's the opposite. We're trying to dress toxins. And that triggers people because it's not easy. So I understand when he says that. They're like, babies in a sense, but even babies grow. Babies always do. You know, babies grow at their own rates. You know,
but they're like growing backwards. We went from South Park and Family Guy, like crude humor wasn't offensive, to now just the accidentally misgendering someone is like cause for pouring down tears. You know what I mean?
But then at the same time, kids, when we were watching South Park or whatever, we didn't really know about sexuality that much. You know. And nowadays, it's like, misgendering is like an offense and whatever, but it's like, to even be talking about like gender-specific type stuff, they're already in the sexuality conversation at like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, but it's like, you watch South Park and Family Guy as like a teenager too, though. I mean, I wasn't watching that at 4 or 5.
No, but I'm just saying, in general, the media that we had as kids, it's almost like it's a backwards sort of flip-flop. To where nowadays, it's like people, yes, everything hurts everyone's feelings, but also kids are being exposed to, you know, black person killed by the police. Mommy, am I going to die because of the police? You know what I mean? They're exposed so young.
So stupid. Get better problems, I swear to God, they all want them, you're so dumb. People so stupid, people so dumb. People so boo-hoo, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues, it's so dumb.
Wow.
Okay, I got a question.
What is it?
What do you think was the symbolism of him being on the cross?
I have a guess.
Go for it.
Okay, so the only reason I'm saying this is because I had a friend the other day that posted this on her Insta story. But basically, nowadays, it's almost like something is wrong with you if you don't have a sort of victimization to complain about. And so it's becoming a thing to be Christian and now mocked, or, you know what I mean, to put something out there that, you know, Christians are like there's TikToks, Christians are like this, and it's like basically making fun of Christians, but it's really like behind closed doors. We're not perfect people. We have issues too. That kind of thing. Do you get it?
No.
Like, basically, so she's white, her life is pretty good, you know what I mean? Like, and she wouldn't fit into any of the like victim groups.
Right.
But she doesn't want to come off like a white supremacist, and so she basically is saying she's a Christian, but she's not perfect. This is what it really looks like behind closed doors. And the whole TikTok was about like what people think Christians think like and what they really think like. It was basically like,
it's trying to be like relatable.
It was trying to be relatable. But it's basically like nowadays, if you're, you know, white and like, you know, your life is pretty decent and whatever, something's wrong with you. So you have to now show that you're like a sinner and you have issues to fit in.
Wow.
The way I interpret it, yeah, it's kind of similar. The way I interpreted it, like to me, he's on the cross. So, like, it just reminds you of, like, how did he get to that cross? What's the crowd like? That seems like maybe they were led to crucify him, or to crucify, maybe ostracize, a different thought, something different, as if someone is less than.
You're probably right. It's probably more like that.
No, there's multiple ways to interpret it, but it's still similar. But it just made me think of that crowd. Who would the crowd be? Who is doing that? Do we see people getting ostracized for certain things, or, you know, maybe to put something to a higher regard that's not necessarily more morally correct, or just with, yeah, definitely. It just makes me think of the crowd, and maybe they were led to think something differently.
Like the crowd would be like the people he's talking about. You know what I mean? Like a
definitely.
crowd
That's the
full of those
symbolism.
people would crucify someone for telling the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, instead of trying to find out what they really think,
what their
then
true
they can make their own
intentions are.
decision. You know, it's easy to crucify someone when everyone around you, when you're doing the same thing as everyone around you, it's pretty easy to,
like that mob mentality.
Mob mentality, exactly. And it's a lot easier. So, like you said, they're babies. It's easier to do that than to be against the grain for literally just questioning something, or maybe wanting to have your own decision.
You say that's a wrap, okay?
Awesome.
See that until next time. Let's toss it over to Bert.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
Thanks for watching the video. Like the video, comment your thoughts on the video, your interpretations, or anything we missed. Thanks for chilling with us on the couch. Couch gang, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, that's a wrap. Oops.
I don't know. Tell me, man, what do you know? What do you know? Me and my boys on the road. You to go. She told me, boy, you to go. Like, I don't know. But I don't know.